Hello and welcome back to my channel where I talk all about reselling, making money from home, and building multiple streams of income. Today I'm going to talk about items that I sold for $40 or more on eBay and Poshmark. I thought this video might be helpful to kind of give you an idea of the things to look out for when you're outsourcing for items to resell. As I say in a lot of my videos, my goal is to find items that are selling for $30 or more. That doesn't always happen, but $40 or more is even better. So I thought I would review those items with you. One thing to keep in mind is that cost of goods really matters. Just because you're selling something for $40 doesn't mean you're making a good profit. Make sure you're buying items at a price that will still make you a profit. So it doesn't matter if you're selling things for $40 or $50 if you're spending $30 or $40 or $50 on that item. So I wouldn't personally buy something for $35 and sell it for $40. After fees and everything, you're going to lose money and you're going to waste your time. So these are just items to look out for, and then it's up to you to kind of make sure that what you're paying for it makes it worth purchasing. So I just wanted to mention that before I jump into the items. And just one more thing before I get started showing you the items that I've sold for $40 or more recently. I want to introduce you to today's sponsor of this video, Vendoo. They sponsor a lot of my videos and I talk about them even in unsponsored videos because Vendoo is my #1 recommendation as a reseller tool for anybody that's serious about reselling and wants to make a decent income reselling. One of the reasons that Vendoo is really helpful if you're watching this video is because they do have an analytics feature that will show you the brands that you're selling the most. It will show your average sale price, what platform you're making the most money on, and all sorts of information like that that helps you really take a look at your business and evaluate where you should be focusing to make the most money. So if you haven't already tried Vendoo, go ahead and sign up using the link below. You'll get 25% off. Thank you to Vendoo for sponsoring this video. And now let's get on to the items that have sold for $40 or more. As I show you the items that have sold for $40 or more, I'm actually going to be showing you a screenshot from my Vendoo account because it allows you to enter in all the sale information and show you what your profit is. So this is going to be really helpful to you to see the breakdown of how much I sold it for, all the fees involved, and what the profit is. So I'm just going to be screenshotting the information on my computer in Vendoo so that you can see a breakdown of the profit and how much I made for these items that I sold for $40 or more. Okay, so the first item was a pair of Levi's 501 jeans. They are black with the button fly men's jeans. Levi's is a pretty basic brand, but if you get the right kind, they can sell for a decent amount of money. I sold this pair for $55 plus shipping on eBay, and I paid $14.12 in marketplace fees. Plus, if I sent it to eBliss, which is my fulfillment center, I add another $5 because that's the average of what I pay them to store and ship my items. So I add that into the marketplace fees to make sure that I'm covering those costs as well. So if the marketplace fees seem a little bit off, that's why, because I've added $5 to the ones that they're storing and shipping. I do store and ship some items myself, but most of it I try to get over to them so that my office is not a storage unit. So I paid $14.12 in marketplace fees. I paid 82 cents at the bins for these jeans and paid $8.45 in shipping. So my profit was $39.51. Next up is some HP toner. I always look up toner when I see it new in the box because it is something that people are always having to replace and it's really expensive. So anytime I see toner, I always look it up and it usually sells pretty quickly. So this HP toner sold for $50 plus shipping. I paid $7.77 in marketplace fees because I had it at my house, so I just shipped that myself and didn't have to pay my fulfillment company to do that for me. I paid $6 at Goodwill for this. I think it was $5.99 actually. And I paid $15.54 in shipping. So my profit was $28.59. Next up is one of my favorite sales recently. This vintage set is gorgeous in person. I could not take pictures to make it look as amazing as it was. So I'm so happy that someone saw it and bought it and they're enjoying it now too because it's in really good condition and it was literally just gorgeous. So I listed this set for $99. I could not find any comps for anything like it. So I just made up a price and hoped for the best and I ended up getting it. It sat for about a month and a half before the right buyer came along and they paid full price. So I'm super happy with that. So I paid $20.71 in fees. My cost of goods was $9.99 at Goodwill. Shipping was $12.66. So I made a $68.25 profit. Next is a perfume. I've talked about this on my channel a lot, or if you follow me on Instagram, I've talked about it too, because I think I got either 6 or 8 of them for $1 each at a yard sale, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And I just found another one in all of my stuff. So I don't know why I stashed it away, but I found another one. This is a discontinued perfume. I think it's from the 80s or 90s. You just can't buy it in stores anymore. So things that are like this that are discontinued can sell for a lot of money, especially stuff like discontinued perfume where people are used to a certain scent or a loved one was wearing a certain scent all the time and they want to be able to smell that again. So I listed this for $1.99. I had previously sold these perfumes anywhere from $75 to $200, just depending on the condition and what offers I took at the time. So this one sold for $100 even. I took an offer of $100 and I figured that was good enough. I paid $14.10 in fees. I paid $1 for it at a yard sale many years ago. I paid $9.03 in shipping expenses, so my profit was $75.87. So this tells you always look up perfume, especially if it's something that looks older and it's new in box. The next two are 2 pairs of Fry boots. I actually bought these, I think last fall at a yard sale. I bought them from the same person. She actually asked me if I was a reseller. It was kind of awkward. But I paid $22 per pair. So I paid $44. She really like negotiated me to like $44. So I ended up paying $44 for these 2 pairs. So $22 each. This first brown pair I sold for $63 and paid $12.60 in marketplace fees. After minusing cost of goods, and I didn't pay anything in shipping because it sold on Poshmark. My profit was $28.40. This black pair sold for $45 on Poshmark. I paid $14 in fees, and after the cost of goods, which I mentioned was $22, my profit was only $9 on these. I probably could have held out and waited till fall to take a higher offer on them, but I decided to just let them go, and I still made $9, so we'll go with it. All right, this next item is a pair of John Barbatos, I think, pants. They are unhemmed, so I believe that they are sold unhemmed so that people can get them tailored to the correct length. And they are new with tags, and I bought them at the Goodwill outlet or the bins. These I sat on for quite a while because I just didn't want to list them. I don't know. I don't know why I held on to them for so long, but they ended up selling for $40 on Poshmark. I paid $13 in fees. They cost me 47 cents at the bins, and I didn't pay anything for shipping since it was through Poshmark, so my profit on these was $26.33. This is the 3rd pair of boots, so obviously we should be looking at boots because people will pay good money for boots. This is my 3rd pair of boots, and these sold for $50. So these boots I got at Ross during their clearance it was either the end of January or beginning of February. I listed these at the end of January, so I think the clearance was January. And then they sold in May. They sold for $50. I paid $10 in fees, and I paid $9.99 for them at Ross under their clearance sale. And then I paid $172 in shipping because it sold through an offer with a shipping discount. So my profit on these was $28.29. Next up is a DVF dress, Diane von Furstenberg. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I am bad at designer names. This is an older style. I could tell by the fabric and just the way it was cut. But it was a faux wrap dress, and it was stretchy and it's black, so I figured it was relatively timeless. So I grabbed it anyway. It ended up selling in, it looks like 21 days for $40, and I paid $13 in fees. The item cost me $7.99 at Goodwill, and my profit was $19.01. Next up is the ski jacket that I sat on for a long time because I just didn't want to list it. But eventually I decided it was bulky and the season was about to end, so I listed it. I bought it at a yard sale for $5 and it sold in less than a month for $62. I paid $12.40 in fees and my profit was $44.60. Next isn't just one item, it's actually a lot of 3 items, and I wanted to include this because not everybody can find items easily that sell for $40 or more. I certainly can't. I don't live in an area that has a lot of high-end items. But if you can find items that you can list together and do a lot and get more money for a lot of items, then that's also a great way to up your order value. Then you're just shipping one time, listing one time. Sure, it's multiple items, but it does save you a little bit of time. So this was a lot of Tommy Bahama reversible sweaters, I guess. They were kind of like more like thermal material. So I guess sweaters. They sold for $45 for the lot. I paid $9 in fees. They cost me $1.50. I bought them during a fill-a-bag sale, so after figuring out how much I paid in total and then dividing all the items, I paid about 50 cents per item. So I paid $4 in shipping, and my profit after everything was $30.50. This next item took quite a while to sell, and I also had it for a long time because it really needed a lot of lint rolling, and just like sometimes there's materials where you lint roll them and it doesn't take the fuzz off and you have to work a little harder at it, and I'm just really not good at items that need work. I've learned that about myself, and I try not to pick anything up that needs work anymore, that isn't just easy to lint roll and take pictures of at most. So this is a Chicago Bulls reversible jacket. It was listed for a good 6 months before it sold, but eventually it sold on Poshmark for $51, and after $10.20 in fees, $2, which is what I paid for the item at the bins a long time ago, my profit was $38.80. And the last item I purchased at one of those kids consignment sales. I actually go to these for my own kids, but a lot of people don't think to source at these. So if you have an annual kids consignment sale where a bunch of people put tags on their items and consign them at this big event, it's usually over a weekend, this can be a really good place to source for items. And I bought a couple of items during that sale that were a good value. I bought these shoes, I bought a pair of Birkenstocks, and they were each $3. So it was a good deal. So I sold these. These sold in 4 days. They're a pair of Suaves, I hope that's how you say it. And they sold for $49, and after fees of $11.62 and the cost of goods, which was $3, I made $34.38. So that is everything I've sold recently for $40 or more. Hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of the kind of things to keep an eye out for. There are always things that are out there that are worth more than we think they are. So some of my tips, some of the things that I do to find items that are worth more are do research. I will pick a lot of items up that I don't know what they are. I don't know the value. I've never heard of the brand, and I will look them up, and a lot of times I'm surprised to find that that item is actually worth reselling. So even if you just pick up 5 new things when you're out thrifting, things that you're unfamiliar with, and looking those up, that's going to expand your knowledge so that you know what to look out for. Another thing I do, especially at the bins, is to feel for quality. When you're sorting through hundreds and hundreds of items at the bins, it's not easy to look at every single item and look up every single item. But I know some people wear gloves. I prefer to be barehanded because then I can feel quality. It's easy to feel linen and silk and just items that feel like they're made well, or they're made from better materials. And like I said at the beginning, don't just focus on sale price. $40 is great, but if you're spending $35 on that item, it's not that great. I would rather buy something for $1 and sell it for $25. So don't just look at sale price, but I wanted to share these because obviously we're always looking for items that we can sell for more money. And if you're able to find stuff like this for $1 to $5, even $10, that's usually worth picking up to resell. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Make sure you check out today's sponsor, Vendoo. Again, their link is down below and you can get 25% off if you use that link. Make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.